Hello everybody, my name is Ryan and I haven't done a video in a while where you guys have been able to see my face. So, in case you were missing this amazingness, well, now you have more of that. So, I thought, what better way to introduce some new stuff to the channel and to kind of... So, I collect vinyl records. I have quite a few of them, so I figured maybe I could show off a few of those today as today's video. So let's get to that. First, I want to clarify this is not going to be the only video that's going to be coming out in the next week. I'm doing several new things, trying out some new stuff. I've got a list of new ideas that I want to try for the channel, and then of course, we might get something gaming in there. But I plan on doing some new stuff for the channel. I want to take this channel in some new directions, some good directions, hopefully. So, without any further ado, we will get into the record. Well, actually, no. There will be some further ado. So, first, I just wanted to briefly touch on this. I didn't feel like doing an entire video on it because so many other channels have. But the thing that happened with the YouTube dislikes, I want to talk about my opinions on that, and everything like that. So, first of all, YouTube, one of the things that has separated YouTube from the other platforms is the fact that YouTube, it's different than regular TV. It allows people to put their own stuff out there without the regular restrictions that come with TV. Like I can't put myself out on normal TV, but here I am on YouTube. I got a very small audience, very small. However, I can still put myself out there. And one of the staples of YouTube ever since its conception has been the ability to show that you like or dislike a video. And the fact that YouTube is getting rid of that is very disappointing, to say the least. It really shows that YouTube has other focuses than what their creators and viewers alike both want. Because interestingly enough, despite YouTube's claims, I'll put a link to their video announcing this down below if you haven't already seen it. But despite their claims, they claim they have evidence proving that that this makes sense. Yet they will not show any of the evidence, and none of their creators or viewers seem to be on board with the decision to get rid of the likes and dislikes. Personally, this is just my opinion, but I tend to think that the reason they are doing this is largely to protect corporations and the government. Because if you look at the videos that were on these corporations, and if you look at the videos that were put out there by the government, if you look at that, then you see that the like to dislike ratio is pretty great. More people are disliking it than liking it by a significant ratio, and I think that this was done in order to protect in order to protect both those massive corporations and the government. And like I said, I just wanted to have a brief touch on this, but all I can say is, and I'm thoroughly disappointed in YouTube for what they've done, and I think it's one of their worst decisions that they've made in a while, if not ever, to get rid of the dislike button. That's like getting rid of one of the key aspects of YouTube. So, that being said, I do ask that you dislike this video. Dislike it. Use the dislike button. I want to make, I can't make that big of a statement to YouTube. Other YouTubers can make a far bigger statement than I ever could. But if I can make any sort of ripple in the water, I'll do it. So, I just wanted to get that out there. Like I said, I didn't feel like dedicating an entire video to the YouTube dislike situation. I just wanted to quickly touch on it. However, that being said, without further ado, let's get into the records. So, my first one, I have a few here that I wanted to, kind of show off a bit. Not to flex, but, I want to show off these records here. Anyway, so this one is Elvis. It's Moody Blue. So it's Elvis, Moody Blue. It's in good shape, still in the cellophane from 1977. It's not original pressing or anything, but, on the back, everything's in great shape. It still has its original, it still has everything original, and there you can see The vinyl is inside. Great album. It's got a lot of good music. It was the last studio album that Elvis Presley ever released. I believe it was April or March of 1977, and of course he would end up passing away just about 5 months later. So this album is definitely interesting, in that aspect that it ended up being Elvis Presley's one of his last albums. But yeah, this is my copy of Moody Blue. If you are an Elvis fan and you don't have this album and you want to get this album, if you want to get this album, I highly recommend that you get this album, because getting something that you happen to want, it makes sense. But if you are a fan of Elvis and you're looking to get into vinyl, or you already have vinyl and you just don't know about this album, then get it, because it's got good music. If you don't know about Elvis, then get it anyway. It's a good album. That's all I can say. That's my first one. Man, I got plenty, so that's my first one. So my second one, this is Footloose Soundtrack from the movie. Once again, album cover is in good shape. Let's see. Inside you got the vinyl. Plays nice. So there's the vinyl. Back here, you got album cover. Bless me. In good shape. And this has got some good tunes on it. You gotta love a good movie soundtrack. Definitely good album. It's got some good music on it. It's got a nice compilation. It's the soundtrack from that movie, which happens to have a great soundtrack. If you don't have this album, I recommend it. It's a great album. Definitely. Totally. So, my third album, we're going back in time a bit. Let's leave the 80s. It's time to head to the 1960s, the early 1960s, with Meet the Beatles. This is the Beatles' first. I'll go ahead and take it out of this encasing just for this. So, this was the Beatles' first U.S. album. Not their first album, but their first U.S. album. This one happens to be in phenomenal condition. It is the stereo version. Wish I had a way to flip this for you guys. I am sorry about that. So it's their stereo version. Gotta love that. It's in wonderful condition. Vinyl is too. On the back, here you got everything. You got the Beatles there. You got Ringo Starr, George Harrison, John Lennon, and Paul McCartney in that order. Here, it kind of talks about the Beatles' success story. Yes, if you're a fan of the Beatles, it's kind of a must-have. It's got all their old stuff on it. It's got "I Want to Hold Your Hand," "I Saw Her Standing There," "This Boy," "It Won't Be Long," all I've got to do," "All My Lovin'," and even more. Absolutely recommend this one if you're a Beatles fan. If you don't know about the Beatles, well, I don't know who doesn't, but this is a good album. I recommend it. I recommend every album I have showcased and every album I will showcase, because otherwise I wouldn't have them. So I'd get this. It's good. Get it. All right. My next one is an album from 1973. It's called "Mind Games" by John Lennon. It's got some good stuff on it. Here, you know what? Let me turn this off. Okay. It's got some good stuff on it. As you can see, there's Yoko Ono, Mountain, two sons, John Lennon. What the power of drugs can do, this folks. Boom. Here you got back. It's got some really good music on it. Vinyl's in good shape. You gotta pull that out. It's a little dirty. I haven't cleaned it recently, but vinyl's in good condition. There's me. I absolutely recommend this album if you want to get into any of the Beatles solo stuff. Great album. It's got some real good stuff on it. So that's kind of a must. Then we're going to actually retouch on another Lennon album. So this is an original pressing that I have. It is mint sealed, still in the cellophane, of John Lennon's Double Fantasy album. This was the last album that John Lennon ever released. He made it in mid-November of 1980. He would die 3 weeks later. but it's got some really good stuff on it. Watching the Wheels, just like Starting Over. I mean, it's got some real good stuff on it. And that's kind of in the same boat. If you want to get into any of the Beatles solo stuff, kind of a must-have. Great album. I recommend getting it. Yeah. I'm rambling. Got to get that video to 10 minutes, am I right? Just kidding, I don't make revenue. But, alright, now this is another Beatles album. It's going to be quite a bit different than Meet the Beatles, because it is quite a bit different. But this is Magical Mystery Tour. Gotta love it. It's got some great music. In my opinion, it is the most underrated Beatles album. Not that the album itself, put it this way, the album itself is not actually underrated. I mean, it's not hated or anything. It's just not, it doesn't give as much love as, some of the other Beatles albums, and I think it deserves it because it's got some good stuff on it, like Penny Lane, All You Need Is Love, Strawberry Fields Forever, Hello, Goodbye, Need I Go On? And then, of course, the wonderful, untouchable, iconic I Am the Walrus. What would we do without that creation? And then next, we're back into Beatles territory. We never left. But I got Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band here. Gotta love it. Probably their most iconic album. I mean, what would the Beatles be without this? Without this album? It's got all the tunes on it, man. It's a great album. I absolutely recommend it. Plus, the mustache game is strong. I mean, look at this. I mean, I'm telling you, that's peak Beatles right there. You get the mustache game going on. Absolutely recommend that album. Beatles. I mean, unless you are not a Beatles fan, if you just like good music, then get that. Kind of a must-have. That's more of a must-have than any of the others. It's quite possibly the most iconic album cover of all time, which fits the music because the music is great. That being said, I got one more. I figured. Okay, it is, like November 20th, something like that. When I'm recording this, it's 12:33 in the morning. So yes, it is November 20th. Christmas is upon us. It's not quite here yet, at least for me. I wait till Thanksgiving. But it's upon us. For some, it is here. For me, it is near. I wasn't even trying to make that rhyme, and it did. Well, my iPad is telling me that it's at 10%. That's fun. Well, anyway, here I got Michael Buble Christmas. Probably my favorite new Christmas album of all time. I tend to prefer the older stuff when it comes to Christmas albums because, I don't know, for me, nothing beats, like Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby, people like that. But this is my favorite new Christmas album. It's got all kinds of good tunes on it. You like Christmas music, well, if you like Christmas music, that means you're normal, but, get this album. It's got so much good music on it. I actually haven't opened it because I just bought it, but I'm going to open it soon and listen to it. But, those are all the albums I decided to showcase today. I do have more, if you want to see any more of my amazing albums, in case you like this video. Don't like this video, but if you like it, leave a comment. But don't like it, because don't dislike it. Dislike the video, but if you like it, tell me in the comments below. However, my iPad is telling me that I need to cut the video short, unfortunately. So, my name is Ryan, and I'm signing out, and I will see you in the next video, where we do, who knows? We'll find out in the next video. Bye-bye.